Welcome to the Vault XL. Today's commentary is pertaining to Bryan Kohberger. His defense has received an abundance of documents, evidence in the case. You also hear commentary pertaining to Cara, Northington, the mother of Xana Carnotto. She tells Banfield that Kohberger trolled a Facebook group that she was in. And also, we will learn that she is wanted by the law. Why is Cara avoiding law enforcement? We also have information pertaining to another victim, Maddie Mogan, that her parents were also represented by Miss Taylor, who represented Cara Northington. It is now official that Miss Taylor is no longer representing any case files against Cara Northington. Thank you so much for joining me. You're now listening to the Vault XL. My first source is KTVB.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us here on the Sunday News at 10. I'm Shira Matsudawa, and Doug Petcash has the night off. And both legal sides are busy preparing for Bryan Kohberger's 5-day preliminary hearing in late June. The 28-year-old is charged with murdering 4 University of Idaho students, Ethan Chapin, Xana Carnotto, Madison Mogan, and Kaylee Gonzalez. Newly released court documents from the Latah County Prosecutor's Office detail the state's response to a discovery request filed by Kohberger's attorney earlier this month. And this means the prosecution is sharing its evidence with the legal defense team representing Kohberger. News Channel 7's Abby Davis joins us now to break everything down. And Abby, discovery requests are pretty standard in pretrial processes like this.
Well, not only that, Shira, this is likely only the first round of discovery requests, with both sides really just making sure that they have access to the same exact evidence. On January 10th, Bryan Kohberger's public defender filed a request for discovery in court. According to the American Bar Association, this is the formal process of exchanging information between the prosecution and the defense about witnesses and evidence they'll represent at trial. In that request, they asked for 18 things, including a list of potential witnesses, police reports, and evidence. State law requires the prosecution to respond. On January 23rd, the Latah County Prosecutor's Office confirmed it fulfilled that request. New court documents show the state sent the defense police reports and documents, including 995 pages, 1 audio-video file, and a number of photos. Former Idaho Attorney General Dave Leroy told KTVB this exchange of evidence is fairly standard. He says what makes this response unique is the large amount of evidence to sort through, considering the pre-trial process only recently begun. Discovery requests ensure both sides have access to the same evidence. Evidence attorneys will use to craft their arguments either for or against Kohberger. The discovery process is ongoing. Latah County's prosecuting attorney confirmed they'll give the defense any new information discovered in the upcoming months. As for what's next, Leroy expects the state to request a discovery back from the defense. He says the state will most likely ask for similar material and information the defense may use in the courtroom. Kohberger waived his right to a speedy preliminary hearing earlier this month. He'll be back in court, like we said earlier, for his preliminary hearing on June 26th. Leroy says the judge will then decide if there's probable cause to believe a crime was committed and if there is probable cause to believe Kohberger committed the crime. If there is, Shira, a different judge from the district court would then set a date for trial if Kohberger requests one. All right, Abby Davis, thank you for breaking that down for us.
Thank you for joining me. That's the Kohberger update. As for now, one moment, please. I will be bringing you more commentary pertaining to this very baffling case out of Moscow, Idaho. Thank you for your time. Okay, everybody. Going to be bringing you several sources of information pertaining to this case. 995 files, 995 documents, 1 audio file, video. What was on the video that was given over to the defense? Just curious. Let's start with the evidentiary material. The independent COUK is the source. I will skim over the article because most of the information is things we already know. Attorneys representing Bryan Kohberger have now received thousands of documents and photos as evidence in the University of Idaho murders case. Court filings revealed that prosecutors in Moscow huge trove of evidence pertaining to the 28-year-old mass killer last week, 995 pages of documents, one audio video file, and 1,865 photos. The evidence, which shows what led to the investigators to arrest a criminology PhD student for the murders of Kaylee, Madison, Zana, and Ethan Chapin, came in response to the defense's discovery request in the case. However, the state objected to handing over some information in the case, including the identity of potential informants. Now, let's talk about that for just a second. Many people have been talking about that only because it's mentioned in the paperwork. Is it standard or is it something to it? Because there's a difference to me versus a witness versus an informant. But an informant can be a witness, I guess, because if they're informing you of something, they've seen something, heard something. So are there people giving information in this case pertaining to Kohberger? Anything that he's done nefarious besides homicides, such as drug use, drug selling, theft, assault, any other type of information? Or are they considering using the word informant as an eyewitness? Which is it? Because when I think of informant, I usually think of things that are pertaining to drugs. Someone sold someone something. They're an eyewitness, a party to. But an informant can be just an informant. Depends on your perception. You're informing someone of something you've seen or heard. Public defender Ann Taylor previously represented the father and stepmother of Mogan in now closed criminal cases. Another subject matter that's on the table. What were those charges? I believe they were drug related that I read earlier a few days ago. So what I think is sad is we have a woman who's represented three parents, a father and a stepmother of Maddie, and a mother, Cara, Northington of Zana. Each one had drug charges. Very bad. But as I said, this is no reflection of the children because in the end, children don't choose their parents. And when children grow up, the parents have no say of what their children do once they are adults. But I think it's very sad that this has come to light because, as I said, with all the gossip and rumors and lies being spread about these people in general, this only compounds the case worse because there is a gag order. No one can speak on anything. And now you have all this mess and nonsense coming out about the parents' past behavior. And Cara is allegedly not abiding by the law and is dodging said charges, drug charges. Why, I do not know, but we'll get to that. As I said, the father and stepmother of Mogan, those are now closed criminal cases. Mother Cara Northington on drug charges at the time of Mr. Kohberger's arrest before dropping her as she took Mr. Kohberger's case. And this is pertaining to Miss Taylor, who is now not representing Kohberger, but she has represented Maddie's father and stepmother in previous cases that are now closed and the current Cara Northington. Just going over the basic information that is out. The state objects to requests by the defendant for anything not otherwise addressed above on the grounds that such requests are outside the scope of I.CR.16 and are not subject to disclosure under ICR 16G, work product and informants. Prosecutors wrote in the court filing. So now I'm very curious, the word has been mentioned again. Who are the informants for the state's side? Who has information pertaining to Kohberger? Is this a matter of a witness that was in the house DM, or are there other people who have pertinent information to give? Because know that if this hearing goes forward in June, the defense will be able to cross-examine anybody that has anything to say pertaining to Kohberger. Very interesting. Further evidence and information about the case is not expected to be made public until the preliminary hearing June 26, after a judge issued a gag order preventing officials from talking about the case. Will people slide some things out? Because lately we've been getting a little he said, she said pertaining to him sliding into one of the girls' DM. The police did not give us that information, and nor did the district attorney. So is there truth that he went into one of the girls' DM? And which one was it? He allegedly followed all the girls on Instagram, the girls who are decedent. But did he follow the other two on Instagram, the ones who allegedly are survivors, DM and BF? In the preliminary hearing, the prosecution and defense will then both lay out their cases in court for the first time. Witnesses will likely be called, and the defense will have the opportunity to cross-examine them, and Mr. Kohberger will enter a plea on the charges. Mr. Levin, who's given his comment, he's not related to the case, says, "I think this case looks like it is headed to trial," adding that due to the complexity of the case, it could take some time. As a case where the death penalty is on the table, it will take a long time to wind its way through the courts, and it will be a lengthy court proceeding, he said. It's not the kind of case a court regularly handles, so whether it's in 2023 is an open question. Okay. So we pray that this will go steadfast June 26th. I think that's enough time for this attorney to gather information. That's still some months away to gather information. Bring you the latest updates. The Independent UK is the source of this information. The attorney representing Bryan Kohberger has ties to the family of a second victim, University of Idaho murders. It has been revealed, once again, Ann Taylor is not the representation at the moment. She previously represented the father and stepmother, Madison Mogan, in now closed criminal cases. The connection comes after it emerged that Ms. Taylor was representing Xana Kernodle's mother, Cara Northington, on drug charges at the time of Mr. Kohberger's arrest. Documents filed on the 5th of January show that the attorney then dropped her as a client the same day that she took on Mr. Kohberger's case and represented him in court in Moscow for the time of charges of murdering Kernodle, Mogan, Ethan Chapin, and Kaylee Gonsalves. The ties to the victim's family has raised some concerns about a possible conflict of interest in the case. Okay. But just how strong is the case against him? What can we expect from the defense and the prosecution? And why has Mr. Kohberger's attorney requested evidence about a co-defendant, Duncan Levin, a former assistant district attorney, Manhattan DA's office, who has no official connection to this case, speaks to the Independent about the strength of the criminal case and what to expect next time he makes it to court, which I just gave you his opinion, Mr. Levin, about the complexity of this because it's a death penalty case and it may go out of 2023. We also get information from Mr. Gonsalves, believing the phone call made to the boyfriend, Jack DeCur, was possibly, he thought, that the daughter may have been seeking to rekindle her relationship with the said fella. But we will not know that because he never answered the phone and she never was able to speak to him. It says that Gonsalves broke up with Mr. DeCur ahead of her post-graduation move to Texas, but had later voiced concerns that she might not ever find another Jack and was considering getting back together with him, they said. The father says the couple remained friends and the slang student was looking for every excuse for Mr. DeCur to pick up the phone. Well, that's interesting. He says that. But is there truth to that? Because the point is she's dead and she can't tell us her motivation for calling Jack that morning. But once again, that is his opinion. If you need a recap of everything pertaining to the case, this article, which was uploaded January 30th, which is today, has all the said information pertaining to what was seized out of Bryan Kohberger's apartment, information about the parents, the drug charges, just giving you a brief update of everything. And once again, Miss Cara opposes the death penalty for Bryan Kohberger, but she has asked, why did he kill her daughter? Okay, everybody. That's my latest pertaining from the Independent. Let's see what KTVB has to say. News 7 pertaining to this case. Once again, the initial request for discovery was filed on January 10th. The defense asked for 18 things, including a list of potential witnesses. Now imagine that. Potential witnesses, informants, whichever word you'd like to use. He will now know who has spoken against him. And naturally, she will tell him whose names are in the paperwork. Why would she not? So what will he say pertaining to DM? Hey, you left somebody in the room. Ha, imagine that. It won't be Miss Taylor, of course, but Mr. Schwartz or whoever would be talking to Mr. Kohberger. Imagine that conversation. I'd love to be a fly on the wall for that conversation. Hey, sir, there's a witness that says they saw you in the house and you walked by. You walked by them on your way out. Can you imagine the look? Kohberger's face once confronted by his attorney with that said information. God forbid there was somebody who saw him go in the house, come out of the house, saw him doing something when he returned to his apartment. See, there's always somebody looking and lurking and passing people by. They don't have to tell you that they saw something. They don't have to tell officials. As I told you before, when it comes to true crime, there's always a witness to something, maybe something tedious at the time. But imagine who saw him leaving the house, making his way up to Moscow on that fateful morning. Someone saw him circling around the streets, trying to find a place to park, because to this day, we do not know where Kohberger parked his car. Stay woke now. And I do believe the house next door to the left had audio feed running at the time of the deaths of these young people. And who's to say that camera just may have a photo video of Kohberger walking in, because we do not know the direction he entered the property. So did he enter from the front of the house? Or did he park up to the top and walk down from the back, park down the street, walked up from the front, or parked somewhere down the street and walked up that lonely drive on the right side of the property and then exited through the back? Which is it? Once again, 995 pages and one audio file given over, and lots of photos. I told you about under 2,000 photos given to the defense. Former Idaho Attorney General David Leroy told KTVB, exchanging evidence is fairly standard. He said what makes this response unique is a large amount of evidence to sort through, considering the pretrial process only recently begun. The discovery process is ongoing. Latau County's prosecuting attorney confirmed they will give the defense any new evidence discovered in the upcoming months. Discovery requests ensure both sides have access to the same evidence attorneys will use to craft their arguments, either for or against Kohberger. Leroy expects the state to request a discovery back from the defense, which you heard in this audio I played earlier. He said the state will most likely ask for similar material, information defense may use in the courtroom. Kohberger waived his right to a speedy preliminary hearing earlier this month. He will be back in court for a 5-day preliminary hearing, June 26th. This is where the judge will decide if there's probable cause to believe a crime was committed, and if there's probable cause to believe Kohberger committed the crime. If there is, he said a different judge with the district court will set a date for a trial for Kohberger if Kohberger requests one. And this is also a time when he can give a plea. KTVB7 is the source for that information. Bringing you all the latest. Newsweek.com is a third source pertaining to Cara Northington. Thank you for joining me. The defense attorney representing the suspect in the University of Idaho murders is facing questions from legal experts about potential conflict of interest. Cara Northington, who's been represented by Ms. Taylor at one time in separate criminal cases. She was represented by Ms. Taylor 4 separate cases, says the Idaho Statesman. Also reported that 2 other parents of 2 of the victims had also been represented by Taylor. The only one of the parents we know Taylor has represented is Northington, who is also known as Cara. Here's what we know about what charges she faces. Less than a week after the Idaho murders took place, drug charges were filed against Northington, Fox News reported. November 19, she was arrested in Kootenai County. She's charged with 2 felony counts for possession of a controlled substance and is listed on Kootenai County Sheriff's Office active wanted persons. As well, the felony counts, she also represented Northington on a misdemeanor charge from August 2017, which has since been adjudicated according to the Idaho Statesman. Okay. Taylor, the chief of the Kootenai County Public Defender's Office, suddenly withdrew from representing her in the unrelated drug charge on January 5th, according to court documents. That same day, Kohberger, who is accused of fatally stabbing all of those victims from the November 13th, had his first court appearance in Latau County Courthouse with Taylor by his side. Taylor is now listed as an inactive attorney on the cases where she represented Northington. Cara Northington told News Nation that she was heartbroken, betrayed by Taylor, representing the suspected killer of her daughter. Newsweek has contacted Taylor for comment. Naturally, she will not be responding because she can't in this case. Several legal and criminal case experts questioned Taylor's change to represent Kohberger and said it likely represents a conflict of interest. Can't understand how a conflict of interest didn't exist when AT took the case, IME with the Public Defender's Office. When their office represented a client associated with a case, they could not accept the client, tweeted law enforcement analyst and ex-FBI agent Jennifer Coffindaffer. The mere fact that the public defender was forced to make a decision about which client to represent reflects a potential issue of compelling loyalties, Michael McAuliffe, a former federal prosecutor and elected state attorney, told Newsweek. He said Taylor is surely acting in good faith, trying to navigate the applicable ethical obligations, but the potential conflict of interest is significant. Newsweek is the source. But she knew better, as Coffindaffer was saying in the commentary. You had to have known. And they are clarifying Ms. Taylor as the chief public defender. So that means she has some rank in this public defender's office. So that means she should know her job. She went to law school. She graduated. She passed the bar. She looks like a woman who is not 22 years old. She doesn't look 32. I'm going to go ahead and say it. She doesn't even look 42. So that should tell you something. She should be seasoned in her job, meaning she knew better. Because if you represented Cara from 2017, we just came out of 22. There's no way you didn't remember her name. Odd last name. How many Cornotos were walking through your public defender's office and showing up in court needing your assistance? Probably not any. Any at all. I'm just saying. Once again, Newsweek is the source of that information pertaining to Cara and the other people, parents of the victims, Maddie Mogan. My last source is Express. The mother of slain student Xana Cornoto discovered that the accused murderer, Bryan Kohberger, was active in a Facebook group dedicated to trying to find her daughter's killer. The 28-year-old suspected killer is believed to have discussed key details of the case under an alias. The grieving mother said she had no idea he was trolling the group. Cara Northington's daughter, Xana Cornoto, 20, was killed in her off-campus home in November, along with her boyfriend, Ethan Chapin, 20, and her 2 flatmates, Madison Mogan, 21, and Kaylee Gonzalez, 21. After an almost 7-week investigation, police arrested Bryan Kohberger after identifying his DNA at the scene. Following the tragic death of her young daughter, Northington joined a Facebook group dedicated to help solving the mysterious case in an attempt to find the quadruple killer. But horrifying new information came to light following his arrest when Miss Northington discovered that Kohberger had been a member of the Facebook group she was part of. I had no idea he was trolling the groups like that. That was shocking to me. Miss Northington said the discovery was very creepy, showed what a sick-minded person Kohberger is, she added. Someone who can do this has to be very sick in the head. It's a game to him. That's what I feel like. It's a game he's playing. This is not a game. It's real life. And it makes me sick. Before his arrest, Xana's mom said she had never heard of Kohberger and doesn't believe her daughter would have had a connection with the older Washington State University student. Northington told News Nation, I can't imagine she had any connection with him. He's quite a bit older than her and any of her friends. I don't know if they knew him. She said her daughter could have served the suspected killer at the vegan restaurant Mad Greek where she worked. Kohberger was reported to have eaten at the restaurant shortly before the murders, but the owner has since denied seeing him. Kohberger is accused of fatally stabbing 4 students to death in their beds November 13th and has been charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of burglary. He will return to court in Moscow on June 26 to stand trial on 4 counts of capital murder. It's not yet known if prosecutors will pursue the death penalty. Cara Northington spoke exclusively with News Nation's Ashley Banfield during her first on-camera interview following her daughter's tragic death. If you need verification for this said information, express.co.uk is the source. And if you need to see the interview with Banfield and Cara Northington, please go to News Nation. Now for my commentary. Thank you for joining me. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $Beganji, 129 Cash App. All super chats, stickers are welcome during the live stream. Once again, I'd like to thank all of you for the birthday wishes. My birthday was yesterday. I turned 52 years of age. God is good. The Queen is blessed, highly favored, and humbled. Once again, thank you all. Let's get into business now. Cara, let the Queen talk to you for just a second. I understand that you are grieving the death of your child, a very brutal death. And the Queen, quite frankly, has never implicated you in any type of way, form, or fashion in the deaths of your daughter and these children. I do not play those type of mind games, hypotheses, and wild-ass theories because they're disrespectful to the dead. And I still do not believe this case is drug-related in no form or fashion because your interview with Banfield showed me you knew very little about your daughter in these late years. That's all I needed to hear. But what is sad is that this case is supposed to be about 4 brutally murdered children and the suspect, Mr. Kohberger. Naturally, things will come out about the children. Things will come out about Kohberger. That is expected. You're entitled to your interpretation of the information if you believe what has been said is the truth. But where I have the problem is you and Mr. Morgan and his wife are now the subject matter when it should not be. And this is what happens in all these true crime cases. Some, at least. The story leaves off of the victims and onto the parents, the guardians, the relatives. So instead of talking about these kids and the case itself and any new information pertinent to the case, it is now the Cara and the Morgan shit show. He said and a she said. And I think it's jacked up. It's all the way jacked up. Oh, thank you, Stacy. God bless you, honey. Thank you for the wonderful donation. God bless you, honey. You make the Queen cry on a live stream. Now you stop that. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sweetheart. And thank you, Miss Dixie, for your donations as well. Thank you for the birthday wish, sweetheart. Thank you, Stacy. You know, this is bad. This is utterly, utterly bad. Because now we're talking about parents who are tainted. I do not know if these other people are still using narcotics, Mr. Morgan and the wife, but it's still bad. Older cases, still bad. Closed cases. And Cara, you obviously have a problem because for you to have 4 cases on file in the past couple of years with this public defender's office, it's not good. What is the problem, sweetheart? What is the problem? You've got to get yourself together because I really don't want to hear about your drug problems. I don't want to hear about the Morgan's drug problems. I don't want to hear about your drug problems. Only thing that's concerning to me is Bryan Kohberger and getting justice for your children. But naturally, your past has come to light, and the fact that this dizzy-ass broad picked up your case, knowing she's represented you. You have a very odd last name, and from my understanding, it is said in content I brought that your last name of Cornoro was mentioned on those legal documents. So Miss Taylor knew who you were. She had to have known. You caught the charges 6 days after the children were killed. So by then, it was national news. Today, you got arrested. So when she got the file, whether she saw you in court or not, she still had to have known she's represented you. Bingo card. Due to the fact that that information has been released, that you have previous charges and she represented you. So there's no way we can listen at the he said and she said that Miss Taylor didn't know you, had no dealings with you, didn't know your damn government name. Now I bring commentary that says you are wanted persons on their roster. Why is that, ma'am? Why are you using drugs? Why are you running from the law? Why, and why? And I would suspect that drugs will be an easy fix at this moment because you are grieving. And I don't know how you are going to be able to be a sound mind in this aiding of this case to be supportive of getting justice for the children, because you need to have a sound mind. You need to be on the right track. You're entitled to do what you want with your life, because it looks like to me you was doing what you wanted before Xana was murdered. Checkmate. As you could. You're grown. And the one thing the queen does not do is tell a person what he or she shouldn't be doing. You want to get high and get drunk? You want to continue to go to jail? That is your prerogative. But the one thing I cannot do is have pity on somebody when they're making foolish decisions. Because naturally you weren't expecting your child to be murdered. But I know that God has a plan, and the plan was put into motion. And maybe this is your wake-up call. You have another beautiful daughter in Washington State. It's time to tighten your shit, as we say in the street. Because perhaps your daughter needs a mother. I do not know the relationship you have with your children, but the thumbnail I used the other day is a very nice thumbnail where you look like you were somewhat healthy and the girls were looking very nice in the photograph. Now you're minus a child. You've got to get it together, ma'am. You need to face these charges. Lying in the cut is not going to help your situation. You're only going to make it worse. Racking up court fees and court costs, fines, probation fines. What is it all for? You have a child that needs you. I do not know if you have any more children, but the point is, you have one that's in college now who happens to have been going to school with this thing. More crazy revelations. We've gone from finding out that he's hanging around the house, phone pings, possibly went to the Mad Greek, but the lady who owns it says no. Went in the DM, followed them on IG, now trolling the same Facebook group with one of the mothers. Which makes me wonder if he saw your name in there. Ting, ting, ting. I tell you all, pay attention. That would lead me to think he also knew that your daughter was at his same school. I believe this rabbit hole is going to be sinking sand by the time court starts. All type of little clowns will be jumping out of clown cars. That is expected. This is why, Miss Lady, you have got to get it together. We do not want a circus surrounding this case. We want justice. We don't want a distraction. I sound like a lawyer right now. We the people. But this is true. We need no nonsense. We don't want any nonsense. And right now, your past, Maddie's parents' past coming out is bad business. And as I've told people, it's no reflection of the children. They're children. They didn't choose you all for their damn parents. But it shows me you're not good role models. Because then I have to ask myself the ultimate question. How long have all of you all been using narcotics? Who is clean in this group? I need to know. Mr. Morgan, are you and your wife clean of drugs? You spoke so kindly of your daughter during the school vigil. You seem very genuine. That's something I've said to myself about listening to you speak about your child. But damn, who was expecting this? See, this is why I tell you don't know people. We are all flawed. Let me make that clear. We all know this. No one is exempt from mischief and mayhem. But damn, 2 sets of parents with drug charges, 2 kids dead. 2 dead kids. 2 dead kids in the same house. Two kids who were friends with one another. 2 kids that worked at the same restaurant. You can't make this up. Connect the dots, connect the dots. Now we're talking about 2 kids with parents that are drug addicts. This ain't good. Because like I said, it's a distraction. We should not even be talking about none of you all. First was Mr. Gonsalves, who was so vocal at the beginning of this madness. Talking in circles and riddles. Some people want, given the benefit of the doubt because his daughter was dead. But damn. Now here come this mess about Miss Taylor dropping you, picking up Kohberger. She knew better. Then we found out now you got old cases. Then we hear Maddie's parents got cases. Damn. What the hell is going on here? Now I just think somebody just started go digging up stuff on the other people's parents, Ethan's parents and the Gonsalves. Because this is just horrible. Please, I pray, nothing else negative comes out about not one of these kids' parents or their siblings. Jesus Christ, superstar. And I want you all to think about what I've said to you during the live streams in the past 2 months or the month since Kohberger has been identified. I told you he's going to use an alternate defense that he had help or somebody else did it. It's going to go one of the two. So now that she's getting the evidence, he, Mr. Schwartz, whomever, they will be sharing this with this fool. Pictures and this and that, and here's this and that. They'll wait to get a response from Kohberger to see how he's going to react to the information. But I won't doubt that he'll implicate somebody from that fucking house. And that is only 2 Mohicans, DM and BF. So really it's a dangerous thing, Kohberger getting a hold of this information. But that's the law. It is the law. And they will use it to their advantage. They will be also watching social media to hear what people are saying, your wild ass theories, and they'll spin off of that. That's what Baez did in the case of Anthony. He gave every reasonable doubt. Stupid as they sounded in court, it worked. How about that? The butcher did it, the baker did it, the daddy did it, the mama did it, the brother did it. Oh, they touched her, they molested her, blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, this heifer's free. Oops, time served. You can go home now. Walking around knowing she murdered that kid. And thank the Lord she is never giving birth again. This is bad, bad, bad. And I surely don't understand Miss Taylor. The hell was she thinking? You want to sit up here and tell us you did not know Cara Northington, ma'am? Miss Taylor, you wanted 5 minutes of fame. What are you going to say? Oh, they handed me the case and I didn't have no choice. You know right from wrong, lady. You know right from wrong. It's just like any legal profession. Professional. Be the judge or an attorney. Somebody comes in the courtroom with their peripheral. They know to excuse themselves if they have had any type of contact with that person before they have been accused of a crime. So the judge knows not to handle a case where the people in the case may have worked where he worked or worked where he patronized. Everybody knows this. And you of all people should know better. So what was the plan? Well, you're the only person that can handle the case, so we'll give you Kohberger's case and we'll get somebody else to represent Miss Cara. It won't be no problem. So we're going to ask this question now going into the month of February. Today's the 30th of January. Miss Taylor and the Public Defender's Office. Have you all reached out to Cara? Because as of last week, her talking to Miss Banfield, the answer was no. So we'd like to know on this wonderful Monday, do you all plan on talking to her and talking to her about her charges? Because I'm trying to understand why she's free to be now a wanted person. Please explain to me, because I'm confused. Did she bond out, bail out? Supposed to show up for court, what, December and did not? Or January, did not? When was her last court date? Cara Northington. When was she supposed to go to court? Why is she dodging the law? Some of you use the word on the run. But like I told people, on the run to me is when you are way out of Dodge, not in the same damn state, same peripheral. She's probably right under their noses. She's just not out and about. But naturally, they know her name, ran her car tags. So she'd be stupid to be moving about in that car. And now that everybody's talking about it on social media and YouTube, she won't be getting very far. I must say the mugshot is sad looking. But that's expected of a person that uses narcotics. So I have to ask myself, how long have you been using narcotics, Cara Northington? Did you ever raise your children? If you did, were you using drugs when you raised your children? I suspect that you really didn't have a good relationship with Xana, or a relationship, let me say that, just from your commentary with Banfield months ago. And I didn't like those interviews because it was obvious you didn't know anything, and I thought Banfield should have just cut the damn interview. Frankly, I would ask questions before bringing you on my show. That way, I would have known this is not a good idea. And now everybody wants to talk to you. Everybody wants to talk to Cara Northington. But yet Cara is running from law enforcement. Why? Why are you running? You weren't running when you were getting high, so you shouldn't be running now. Face the music, sweetheart, and be done with it. I don't know if perhaps you're hiding because you want to go to the drug rehab, or are you doing what most addicts do? You want to go to the rehab versus jail. Because jail would be worse, in your opinion, perhaps. So you rather go to the rehab. But see, where I have the problem with the rehab is Queen knows the street. And Queen knows the rehab is only the alternative, ding, 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 for jail. But you really don't want the rehab either. Did you all hear what I said? You don't want the rehab, or do you? Are you only wanting to enter the rehab as to avoid jail time? What was given to you in court? An ultimatum, perhaps? You either go to jail or you go to rehab. Which was it? And you still have expectations in the rehab. Because if you don't abide by the rules and regulations, they'll kick you out and then they'll issue a warrant to pick you up. So you would have to go to jail. And if you're really not wanting to get clean to better your life, then the rehab is not a good alternative either, because we have learned of people going in there just to dodge jail, and they are in there looking for drugs, alcohol, not abiding by the rules and regulations of the rehab, and next thing you know, they're kicked out or they leave, one or the other. This is a very sad story. Because in the end, the story is supposed to be about 4 young people from the ages of 20 to 21 who were brutally murdered inside of a house in Moscow, Idaho. And instead, we're now talking about their damn wayward parents. I don't like it. I don't like this at all. This is why I don't like talking about children's stories. And I hate talking about true crime. Because it never ends up being about the people in the story who were wounded, who were harmed. It's about their damn family members. What they did, what they said. Oh, did you see what they said on Facebook? Oh, did you see what they said on the news? Oh, did you see what they said on Twitter? All the children cases end up being just like this. Summer Wells, Camille McKinney, Megan Boswell, Cal City, it's all the same. Always about their ratchet ass parents. And these kids are older. That's what's even more crazy. These are older children. These are not 5-year-olds, 2-year-olds, 10-year-olds, 21-year-olds trying to live their best life. They were enjoying their lives, having fun, doing what young people do, and snuffed out in their own beds. Can't get any more cruel than that. Because that's where you're supposed to have peace, is inside of your home. And they were violated. Utterly violated. By nobody. Can't make it up. Oh, Lord have mercy. I don't know what to say. It's very sickening. Thank you all so much for joining me. I'm lost for words. Because I said, well, we don't have any new information because now we have a gag order. Huh? The devil said, oh, I got one better for you. I got one better for you. Let's dig up some people's old criminal records. Parents got high on drugs. Both. When I heard that the other day, I said, somebody they're making this up. Both. What you mean both? Yeah, both. How could both kids, 4 kids die? 2 of the kids were best friends. The other 2 worked together. And their parents have drug offenses. This is just ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. I guess Ethan's family, they're probably thinking, dang, how did it come to this? And naturally, Mr. Gonsalves, he had to know what type of people they were because his daughter and Maddie were best friends. So he's known that these parents were tainted. Damn. This ain't good. Well, hopefully, these people's past lives will have no bearing on the case. But I know that a defense's job is to get their client off and to produce reasonable doubt. And with all this extra hoopla and wild theories, assumptions, it surely won't be hard to introduce reasonable doubt in the courtroom on behalf of Bryan Kohberger. I don't know what to say. But this is expected in a true crime, that things come out about people's relatives, their parents, whomever. And people take advantage of the situation by just running it in the ground, what they've done, what they're currently doing. And I hope for all the parents' sakes that they keep themselves grounded, because your children are going to need you in the upcoming months and possibly years to fight for them. And if your mind isn't right, your body and spirit isn't right, you'll be of no use to these children. You might as well be dead. Because we are outsiders looking in the glass. You're in the glass. So the best thing for all of you all to do is have your shit together. Because this just ain't good, man. And when all the rumors were circulating, people making up stuff about Cara, accusing her of being involved in this crime, I told people that's a cruel thing to say, and I'm not indulging in that. And I'm still not. But this doesn't help, because see, this right here helps aid the gossip again for people who are gullible and, conspiracy theorists, people who like nonsense. And when people find out you have a tainted past, they don't mind throwing it in, even though they have no receipt that has anything to do with the murders. But that's what crazy, sick people do. Kohberger in a Facebook group. I am not shocked by that. We assume that, many of us, that he was trolling the internet, pretending to give commentary as a regular civilian, quipping back with people, pretending to care, to have empathy. Imagine some of the things he's probably said in Facebook chats, social media chats. Probably giving his theory of what he thought happened, probably pretending to care and, let's pray for them. It's terrible. When all along he's the culprit. Imagine that. And imagine that playing out in court. This is how dumb he is. They bring back all his commentary that's possibly linked to his IP address if he didn't, do the VPN avenue. But it's repeated back to him. I think he would be flabbergasted. Oh, that wasn't me. That wasn't me. Oh, yes, that was you. And the FBI says, I want to show you that it was you. Imagine that. People talking about these children and what happened to them. And the killer is in the Facebook groups, plural, pretending to be a caring citizen. Allegedly in a group with Cara Northington. So it goes back to what I asked earlier. Did he know who she was in the group? Because I told you, once the evidence came out about the pings at the house and that this thing was over there 12 times or so, what makes you think he did not know where those kids' family members lived? Other friends and relatives, other schools. Now we know that Xana's sister was at the same university walking around with this thing. Same school. So I'm telling you, the 6 degrees of separation in this case is scary as hell. What are the odds? All the way from Pennsylvania, goes to the school, stalks some kids as soon as he touches down. He allegedly went to one of the restaurants. Owner says no. Breaks into their house, kills them. We later find out he's in a Facebook group with one of the mothers of the victim. The mother's damn lawyer ends up becoming his damn attorney from a whole nother damn jurisdiction. And also, one of the victim's sister goes to the same damn school as Kohberger. Now you tell me how in the fuck that is normal. Small world, it sure enough is. You can't make this stuff up. This ain't even Lifetime, baby, what we're talking about. We have surpassed Lifetime, Netflix. This is a whole new level here. This is even past Dateline material. Six degrees of separation. 10 billion people on the earth. And all these people somehow meshed to 1122 King Road and surrounding counties. Kootenai County, Idaho. Pullman, Washington. What a circle. All roads leading to Moscow, Idaho. Make it make sense. But we do live in a world where, as I said, people touch one another's coattails, shoulder blades. That you could travel halfway across the world and be sitting in a restaurant with somebody from the same town as you, or live in a town where you lived in America. You could be in the UK having dinner and start talking to someone and they say, oh yeah, I used to live in a little town in Idaho. And you say, well, shut your mouth. I live in Idaho. You do? Yes. Whereabouts? Moscow? You shut up. Something like that. But all this drug using and district attorney, defense attorney, Miss Taylor, you sure enough ready to write a book, is you not? You can write a book now just from saying you done represented all these damn folks. I'm sure you probably not like very well right now in Idaho. Because you know what the running joke's going to be about you. Don't get her as a public defender. You, your family ever get in any trouble or get beat up, assaulted, she'll possibly be representing the perpetrator. Or it's all happenstance. No one was available to fight this case. They went looking for a warm body, and Miss Taylor was it. Is that how it went? As they say, they don't choose their cases. But one could say she had to have known of Cara's name because Cara's been in trouble before. It's jacked up, man. What kind of world do we live in here? If you'd like to engage further, I can drop the link. If not, I will conclude this live stream. And now I'm looking at blonde hair or somebody's hair sitting on my computer like, where's this hair coming from? Or is it mine? And I didn't know I have that color in my hair. Lord have mercy. Very scary. She had a conviction overturned. For what? Drugs? I guess. I don't know. Oh, man. It's to the point now when I talk about the story, I have to take deep breaths. Because I don't know what I'm talking about. It's the repeating it. It's the problem at the moment. It's too far-fetched for me. I just don't understand what's going on. It's bad. I just pray nothing else crazy jumps out by the time summer gets here. I really pray nothing crazy jumps off. One moment, you guys. So when was the conviction overturned? After 2017? Sick. I don't know. Next, we'll hear something else crazy about Miss Taylor. Just wait. Oh, I thought you were talking about Cara. Well, he's got evidence against him. He can get overturned all it won't. The point is coming out of the jail. I don't see him getting out. I don't see him coming out of there. He wouldn't make it out of here. But then I also tell myself, well, you thought that about Casey Anthony too. Somebody would end up killing her and beating her to death, and she's still walking around. Still walking around free like OJ all day. And nothing's happened to her. Altercation in a bar, some woman a few years ago about a man. But other than that, nobody's beat the brakes off of her. I have 103 viewing. If you'd like to give your opinion pertaining to evidentiary materials being given to the defense by the state, Kohberger trolling Facebook groups allegedly with Cara in one of them, and why is Miss Cara Northington, the mother of Zana Carnotto, avoiding the law? Thank you for joining me. You are listening to The Vault XL. No new updates thus far, except for what I've mentioned to you guys. Oh, man. Once again, thank you all for the wonderful birthday wishes. Thank you, Stacy, Miss Dixie, Miss Angela Esley, Miss Sean, Miss Iveta. Thank you all so much for the donations. Stacy, thank you all. Casey Anthony is just horrible. I don't know how someone did handle that already. Yeah. And I know we're not supposed to be advocating for murder. But my thing is an eye for an eye. You snuffed out a baby. So why should you get to walk around? Hello, Esley. Thank you, sweetheart. Hit the link if you want to give your opinion. The link is in the chat. Make the live count. Keep the continuity of the content flowing. You have something you like to say of use pertaining to this evidentiary material giving over to the defense, Cara avoiding the law, current cases, drug offenses, Kohberger trolling Facebook groups with Cara in them allegedly, Cara not wanting the death penalty for Kohberger, and also Miss Taylor representing Maddie's father and stepmother years ago. Cases are now closed. Make that clear. I brought your source. If you have a problem with that information, please take it up with the source. Amen. I'm just a messenger. That's the sad information, everybody. Oh, mercy. I just get lots of words now about these kids. This new stuff with the parents, it's too much for me. Way too much for me. I will be possibly doing another live this evening. We will go to the Tales of the Street. And I will take you down the road that many of you have possibly never traveled before, since we're talking about drugs pertaining to these parents of these dead children. That will be the next live stream. You will be hearing from someone who was a drug dealer. Slow motion down there in that chat. I see that now. Maybe you all have more pep in your step when I come back in the evening. I have more to say to the queen. Well, slow motion. Well, segment, we're just discussing evidentiary material handed over from the state, 995 documents, almost 2,000 photos, audio file, / video. Kohberger allegedly in Facebook groups, one with Miss Cara Northington, the mother of Santa, and Cara also being a wanted person on said current charges. And I'd like to know why she's avoiding the law. Someone was in the chat the other day making commentary. I didn't indulge in it because when I don't have a receipt, I don't repeat anything. Now that I have a receipt, allegedly, I'd like to know why she's dodging the police. For what reason? Because once again, the charges aren't going to go away. The fact that the daughter's been murdered, that's not going to go away. The only good thing out of all of this nonsense is that Kohberger is currently incarcerated. But right now, all this gossip about the parents, their past coming out, is just bad news. And we could thank Ms. Taylor for that, to add more friction to the case by stupidly dropping Cara to represent Kohberger, to only have to drop him a couple of weeks later. You're not very bright. You or your office needs your asses beat, because this is stuff you all should already know. I am trying not to get crunk because I'm about to check out of here. But I don't see how this is an oversight. Because one, this is not like you're in a big city. This is not a city where everybody's last name is Williams or Jones or Johnson or Kohberger. So make it make sense. You know, this isn't Brooklyn, the Bronx. Thousands of people running in and out of the court systems needing a damn public defender. Bobby Jones, Pookie Jones, Darren Jones, John Jones. Oh, you see where I'm going with this? Idaho. As I brought you commentary the other day, somebody said it's a very small state. Then what the hell is going on? It's obviously small. You had to go up there and get Miss Taylor. Hell, let me tell you all something. Kohberger's probably damn glad she ain't his lawyer. I'll let you figure out why. Let's play some Jeopardy music. Ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding. Dum, da-dum, dum, 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 dum. The obvious reason Kohberger would not want Miss Taylor as his representation. I'll wait to see who puts it in the chat first. Oh, come on, you guys. Don't make me say it. This is a sleepy bunch here. Well, I see my chat is not awake. Nope. Thank you, Mississippi. Yes, she's a woman. Exactly. What did I tell you all weeks ago? Imagine when he walked in and saw his attorney was a blonde-haired woman, and then he went into court and saw a brunette woman. Ding! Oh, hell no. They done gave me 2 women? Yep. Karma's a bitch. Karma is a bitch. He just cut up 3 gals and a boy. You think he wanted to see a woman as his representation? Come on, you guys. And a woman judge? Hell no. He doesn't like women, obviously. Angry, mad because nobody wants to play with me. Nobody wants to date me. I've got a big old nose. I'm insecure. I've got women breasts and a hump in my back. And I don't know how to talk and hold a decent conversation when all I had to do was just seek therapy and get me a fucking psychiatrist. Hell, ain't you got 2 sisters that's majored in psychology and social work or something? Should have talked to your sisters. Hey, I need help. I'm drowning. I'm messed up. I don't have empathy. Thank you, Mud Pie. I don't like girls, but I really like girls, but they don't like me. I don't know what's wrong with me. Go get a fucking breast surgery. How about that? I can recommend a great surgeon. I don't know if he's alive or not. Since they like feeding you all pizza on Fridays, maybe I can recommend a good surgeon. Sitting up there in that courtroom with fucking men breasts. Yeah, I'm crunk now. They're all gonna laugh at you. They should play Carrie in the jail every fucking day till your ass breaks in there. Giving damn inmates great poupon. What will we have on the menu today? Well, we will be having chopped sirloin for the rest of the inmates, and we will be having vegan burgers for Mr. Kohberger. What the fuck is going on? Oh, my Lord, Vivian. On Wednesday, we'll be having, let's see, fresh tossed salad with, fine breaded croutons. Since we have Mr. Kohberger here, I think we'll be changing the diet. What the hell is going on? That's something else I've never really dwelled on and talked about either. It's the fact that you all had the nerve to sit up and say, we've got places we can go in Moscow to get his food. Who the fuck is Kohberger? Hey, I tell you what, Moscow police, you don't want to get on the Queen's bad side. I was rooting for you crazy ass people. But when you start talking about going to get special meals just for one inmate, this is bullshit. That is the most disrespectful, disgusting thing you could say. He butchered those kids. I can't even imagine what the photos are going to look like of those kids. Maybe you all should take a look at those photos again while you're worried about what the fuck you need to be serving Kohberger. Taxpayers, pay your salary, Moscow Police Department. And you want to sit here and tell the general public, we've got several places that we could go and get special food for our perpetrator. What the fuck is this, Downton Abbey? So I'm sure the other inmates are like, what did you hear that? They talking about getting this burger food, vegan burgers. I'd give you a burger, all right. I'd give you the juiciest fucking steak burger ever known to man. I mean, leave the fat on, stuff some mushrooms and some cheese and some bell peppers in it, and put it on 2 slices of fucking Wonder Bread. How about that? Checkmate. You're gonna eat it. I would make your ass eat it. Shove it down your damn throat with a fucking shovel. Give you what you gave those kids. Excuse my manners. Oh, Moscow Police Department. Do you know how high vegetables are? Queen is used to getting the little small package of mushrooms, 16 ounces, for under $2. Well, they cost more now. Almost what? About $2.69 in the grocery store? You sitting up here worrying about a vegan diet when groceries are high as hell? Fucking $3 for 1 apple? People going in the grocery store ain't buying but 1 fucking banana and 1 apple. Hey, where are the rest of your apples? Hell, I can't afford them. They're over in the fruit section. Would you like to put some in my buggy and pay for them? It's just BS. Groceries are high. Food is high. Groceries are high. Exactly. Potted meat. You have no business catering to him or any other inmate. Now, if they are somebody that's came in there with a certain type of, stomach issue or something, and they were already like on baby food, fine food, they just came out the hospital, and they had some type of issue with their stomach, like they was in a car wreck or something, and they had some digestive issues on file to where they had to eat like liquid diet or something, that's totally different. But this bullshit here, I don't give a damn what he likes. Hey, there's somebody in there want to crack rock. There's somebody in there want a little hit of meth. You want to give it to him? So while you're out there going to the fucking Mad Greek or where the hell you trying to get some food for Kohberger, why don't you stop at the dope dealer's house and pick up you a bag of heroin? How about that? I'm sure somebody's locked up wanting a fix since we're catering to the inmates. Hell, while you're at it, stop at Walmart. Hell, there's probably somebody in there needing a fucking compact and a tube of lipstick. You all don't want us judging you, but yet you'll do and say stupid stuff to make people judge you. I had faith that you all would solve this crime because I knew you had the FBI. But when you start talking about giving this food specialty food, man, I draw the line with you. I'm not trying to hear that bullshit. I don't give a damn what he eats. I could tell you what. You could take the toilet paper off the toilet paper rolls and cut up all that fucking cardboard and put some fucking ketchup on it. How about that? A la carte. I don't care. He killed 4 people. Making a mockery out of these kids' death, talking about going to get their own killer a special diet. Oh, we don't mind. Well, I be damned. Hell, people start committing petty crimes just to go to the Moscow jail. What are you doing? Oh, I'm just going to egg my neighbor's house. I'm low groceries this month. I can go to the Moscow jail. They'll feed me for about a month. They'll give me a special diet. Bet you won't be making no special diet when you start getting a bunch of people in the damn jail cells. How about that? When your neighbors decide they want to play a game of purge and everybody starts committing crimes in Moscow, Idaho, you start getting about 50, 60 ass people running through the doors in a month, you won't be talking about no vegan diet. You'll be ordering that food through companies and serving standard food like the other jails. Bologna sandwich for lunch and an apple, and then a regular meal for dinner. And then whatever they want to have on commissary money, you all fill up your little fucking vending machines with little Debbie snack cakes and potato chips. Now, miss me with this nonsense. Let me guess. The inmates have their own iPads too? Maybe they also got flat screens in their cells. Hey, where you going tonight? I thought you were going to go check out the game. Hell no. I'm going to the Moscow jail. They got the game on over there. They got pizza, vegan diet, nice fuzzy slippers, and a robe for you. Hell, you probably got a fucking bathtub in there. Giving the inmates baths. This is a little light humor because obviously Kohberger being incarcerated is a joke. So you understand what I'm saying. This is not a joke. These kids are dead and they were brutally murdered. So to cater to their perpetrator, there are no words for that. It's disrespectful. It's inhuman, really. We know the inmates have to eat. They have to have meds. But when you start ordering out private food, specialty foods, it's unacceptable. If you want to serve them vegetables in the jail, that is your choice how you render the food menu. But going outside of that jail specifically for any, I was going to say roommate. Yeah, any roommate, you're out of line. Because that's a taxpayer's money. And you have no right to be going out buying extra shit that's not on the menu. And that goes for pizza, fresh vegetables from the nearest market. If the other inmates aren't getting it, then Kohberger doesn't get it. Now, that's my say on that. Lawsuit for what? He's in jail. The only lawsuit you can sue is if you denied him medical care, you allowed him to get beat up, you didn't check on him regularly, and you didn't feed him. I tell you what, since you all want to cater to Kohberger, because I'm praying that you're not, but let's just say that you are. I tell you what, while you're out getting specialty vegetables, how about you all march your ass on over to Walmart and get that bitch a bra? How about that? How about that? Since you all think he deserves a vegan diet, how about you go to Wally World, and while you're scouring up, buying all these fresh vegetables for this monster, be sure to go in the female department and buy him a fucking bra. Or better yet, just get him a whole fucking girdle top that could cover up his breasts and his fat back. Since you're in the catering business. You want to go all the way with it, then you go all the fucking way with it. You go get that bitch some panties and a matching fucking bra and girdle panties, and you make sure you get the kind that stretch all the way up to his fucking neck. Sickening. Yeah, I'm crying too. It's disgusting. It's just sad how you come on this earth, you don't know how you're going to leave here. And it's something you should never even be thinking about. When I'm going to die, when am I going to die, if I'm ever going to get hurt, if I'm going to, be in a car wreck or legs, arm amputated. And you get bludgeoned to death, fight for your life in your sleep. And this is how the fuck you're repaid. That this is what they think of the dead. Sit up here with all these stupid ass speeches. The school, you never gave Kaylee a hat and gown and chair or a posthumous degree to my knowledge. You didn't want to put up no reward, no nothing. Because really you didn't find out about the car until the 25th and the 29th. You still didn't have Kohberger because you didn't have no DNA. So you still should have put up a reward. Should have put up a reward first day. Who cares? You working on it, got state police, the FBI, put up the money anyway. So no money, no award for that girl, no cap and gown, no chair. Putting up signs around the schools shortly after they said you released a video a couple weeks after the kid's death because you're so worried about school enrollment. Then when you finally find this fucking punk, you're fucking worried about his damn diet. Well, like I said, he's going to get fat in there because you ain't going to be letting him exercise and do a damn thing. So while you're at Wally World, Mr. Captain of Moscow Police Department, make sure you get that bitch some slips, girdle panties, bras, because he's going to need them. Because by the time June gets here, our Kohberger will be a Karen burger. Checkmate. What it is, don't start. What the fuck happened to Kohberger? He's going to look like a full fucking woman come June. You watch what I tell you. First thing I thought when I saw him walking in the Pennsylvania court, walking out in that hallway, I said, it's a fucking girl. It's a fucking girl. I didn't get the 52 by accident. It's what my spirit told me. That's a fucking woman. You all better wake up out there. That's a fucking woman, man. Kohberger is a woman. Maybe it's more to this story than you all have realized. I'm just saying. Yeah, because I tell you all, you have to pay attention to the details. See, Queen watches everything. This is why I don't respond to some of the stuff you put in the chat. It's never personal. It's that I see things you don't see, some of you, because you're too busy, listening to all that gossip and stuff. You're not focusing on what's sitting in front of you. Kohberger, that's a woman. That's a fucking girl. You're welcome, sweetheart. He's a fucking girl. My spirit told me that when I saw him walking from that courtroom coming back out, I said, something's off here. I said, this is a woman. I'm looking at a woman. It's a woman. It's a fucking woman. That's a girl, man. You say what you want. The Kohberger is a fucking female. A wannabe female. He might have been born with a penis, but that's a fucking girl. Take it how you want. You wait till June come. You'll see. You'll be the first one run to the Vault XL to say, oh my God, Queen, have you seen the pictures? Just wait. You just wait and see. You wait till the end of June comes. The next time you see Kohberger, he ain't gonna look like how he looks now. I hope they let him watch YouTube. Please, please give him an iPad. I'll send one to the jail. I have no problem. That's an easy 150. I don't mind giving up. Kohberger needs an iPad. I'll buy it. I'll buy it just because I want him to watch my videos. Bryan C. Kohberger, you are a girl. Is that what's really this about? You have woman tendencies. You are feminine. Maybe it's not what we think. Because it's easy to assume. Isn't that what we do? We assume we know everything. We think we know what's going on in the storyline. We think we know the people. We think we know these kids. We think we know the perpetrator. All this bullshit about incel and woman hater and, oh, his mommy mistreated him. And, all that BS. Maybe it's just something as simple as he might want to be a damn good. I'm just saying. I can crack jokes if I want to. I can crack jokes, be serious at the same damn time. Maybe Kohberger wants to be a girl. Because he and his daddy are built the same way. They're all chest and all back. Low-waisted, low waist, skinny legs, and all their weights on top. So, you all want to have a little fun. We could all get together and pitch in our coins, and we could see if they'll take donations for girdles and bras at the Moscow jail. It's nothing like buying a woman a good bra. I'm just saying. Somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to buy that bitch a bra. Why not be me? Kohberger, you want a bra or a girdle? You want just the panties or the whole suit? Just step in it, pull it up. I don't mind buying it. What size shall I send? Extra large? We can get it in nude, white, brown, black. What's your color? Maybe even get you some box of apples shipped out there since you like fruit, vegetables. Mississippi, you're 6 and don't be cheap. Get them Spanx. Hey, this y'all damn YouTube money. I ain't getting ready to buy that bitch no damn Spanx. You'll get Walmart brand. That's the closest store. I refuse to go to a department store and buy that damn bitch a fucking expensive ass girdle. I think Walmart's got 2 girdle panties in a pack for about what, 11, 12 bucks? I think you can fit an extra large. Maybe we'll get your large. It'll hold your fat in a little better. They always tell you get a size smaller in girdle panties. I don't give a damn. When the law decides they want to start catering to murderers, rapists, I don't lost respect for you. Because those people in Moscow are like everybody else in America. These people are barely living, barely making money, and nobody has money to be sitting up here catering to a murderer. Murdered 4 kids. So hell to the no. Why does he get special treatment? And while you're at it, I think I'll go to the Dollar Tree and buy him some hair barrettes. His hair will be grown out by the time June gets here. Curly top. Kohberger has naturally curly hair, it seems. So we'll make sure to get him some barrettes. Maybe we'll make a list on the community page of things we need to send to the Moscow jail. I'm game if you're game. I say a nice shade of pink lipstick might be very befitting. You know, pink goes with brunettes. Especially on pale skin, pale white skin, dark hair, pink lipstick. Beautiful. For a nice peachy pink shade. Get your eyeshadow palette. I don't mind spending a couple of bucks for this punk. I don't have no problem. You want to cater to him? Well, we'll help you. Since you think it's cute to be catering to a quadruple homicide killer, plural, we'll help you out. Somebody buys the slip, the girdle panties, the barrettes. Chip in a little mascara, eyeshadow. I'm fine with it. Extra tall fishnets. Oh, mud pie, you're killing me. You wait till court. Won't be looking the same. You can believe that, honey. I'm gonna check out of here. Ballet slipper, fingernail polish. Yeah, well, they won't have any cheap house shoes at the Dollar Tree. We have to go to Walmart's to get him a special size slipper. That's what his ass needs. Nice bra, girdle panties. And we get him some makeup and some hair barrettes. Since you all think it's cute to be catering to him, we'll just go all the way with it. We'll send a care package out there and you can give it to him because he's going to be needing those things by the time June gets here. We want to make sure he looks real pretty for court. And we want to make sure he's going to look real decent underneath his clothes so his clothes can fit right when he goes to court. Yeah, for his cellmates, indeed. Queen watched them bring a bunch of bras and panties in the trial, thinking the other victims to find out they're really his. Yeah, I won't doubt it. That's why I tell you don't know people. And there's something strange about him. Just the pictures, I was looking at his facial expressions. I said, seems womanly to me. Now, could the queen be wrong? Of course. But when you use deduction, a man who's never probably had sexual relations except for with himself, he hasn't been touched by a woman. He hasn't had any type of sex acts done with a woman or to him from a woman. Who's to say he's not possibly gay, bisexual? And imagine his first sexual experience being with a man in there. Checkmate. Because it usually happens. You don't get any sex. You don't get any affection. You don't get any attention. Your mind starts to drift to that guy over there. He looks nice. He looks delicious. Oh, I don't really like men, but hell, I'm in here. I'm not getting out. Oh, God, bath bombs. Girl, please stop. Imagine that. His first sexual experience being in the Moscow jail. He can play with the banana. I don't care what he does in there. Excuse my language. I'm just disgusted because I really never talked about that issue with the food, the diet, and it was just appalling to hear the police department saying they will go out and get him food when you have other inmates there And the objective is to get the inmates out of the jail, not make them comfortable to stay. So I start to wonder, if you're going to be catering outside for their food, what else you got going on in the jail? What, volleyball competitions? Painting classes? Pottery classes? What the hell kind of jail is this? Mud pie, behave. I'm just saying, what kind of jail you got going on? Because I got a feeling you all got some crazy shit going on over there. Everybody's got their own iPad. You're going to be staying for a while? Well, we'll buy you an iPad. You need to be able to connect with the internet. So he could be luring some other gullible minds into the fold. People like him, they don't need access to nothing. Don't need to be talking to anybody. Don't need to be talking to the outside world, period. By phone, letter, or the internet. Well, that's the whole point. That's what people need to understand about the system. The system is designed for people to do wrong. Because the more people do wrong, the more they have to buy this, expand, get another computer, get another copier, get another cubicle, expand, add on to the building, redecorate. All that's to accommodate the traffic. People need city services. Come pay your taxes, tax on a business. It's all the same. So you getting in trouble, they need that money. Because that's what keeps the lights on. That's what keeps the paper going through the copier. That's what pays the public defenders. That's what pays the state's attorney's office. It's a business. Macy's, Bloomingdale's, McDonald's. It's all the same. But you have no right to take the taxpayers' money to get no inmate, no special diet, unless they have some type of stomach issue, intestinal issue, and they're on a liquid diet. That would be the only difference. But there is nothing wrong with Kohberger. And if he is on vegetables and fruits only, that was the past. He is currently incarcerated, and 9 times out of 10, if a jury finds him guilty, he is going to die in a penitentiary. So therefore, he needs to get with the damn program. And he either eats what they eat or he do not eat unless he has money to buy commissary. Point blank. I want to thank you for following the content. Please check out my previous videos. We'll put up a movie recommendation today when I come off this live stream. Please check out the movie suggestions from last week. Very good movies and TV series. Anatomy of a Scandal, now playing on Netflix, was one of my TV series recommendation. 6 episodes. Very nice courtroom drama. Any stories I do not discuss, I will give updates via my community page. And please join me later. I'm expected to do another live stream with a young man who was a drug dealer. And he's going to tell you about his life and how he got into the game, the hustle game. And for those of you who have never experienced the street life, never been around street people, never used drugs or sold drugs, never trafficked drugs, you will get an eye-opening experience in listening to this one man's journey. This network will be discussing various topics and breaking news. So please stay tuned. If you'd like to donate to the network, $ Big Angie, 129 Cash App. The description is in all videos. All information in this live stream has a source. If you have a problem with anything that you heard, I suggest you take it up with the source because they got the information from someone else. I am just a messenger. Thank you so much for your time. Please have a safe week. Be careful of your surroundings and the things you post to social media. Make sure to keep your home locked and secure and be wary of your company you keep, because you do not want to end up in the situation these children ended up in. Okay? I don't recommend anyone ending up like how these kids ended up. And keeping your house locked and secure is one way to preserve your life. And it's not saying a person still wouldn't try, but you need to keep your house locked, cars locked. You need to be careful what you're posting on social media, giving your whereabouts and time limit to where you're coming and going. It's easy to make the mistake of going live, not thinking about who's watching the stream. But sadly, we have sick people out here who are watching and will possibly lie in wait to find you or bump into you. Don't ever take life for granted. Prayers to these families. Prayers for this mother, Miss Cara Northington, that she will get her life together and be of a sober mind and spirit for the upcoming trial. When I get more information pertaining to Kohberger and anything I think is pertinent, I will bring you an update. And even if there is an update pertaining to these parents, I will still bring it. But I really don't want to be talking about these parents because I don't want people to lose focus and become distracted on the ins and outs of these parents' past drug indiscretions or any other deviant behavior. Thank you for your time. You have been listening to The Vault. Exhale.